The NFL is here, and it's all about the sweet offers from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code FieldGoal to sign up. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
NFL Sunday Ticket is now on YouTube and YouTube TV, which means that you can stay close to your team even if you don't live in their town. Like, maybe you're a Raven who married a Seahawk who got a job in the land of the Falcons. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch your team's out-of-market Sunday afternoon games no matter where you live, because you shouldn't have to change teams even if you change towns. NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. Go to youtube.com/presale to get $50 off.
Terms and embargoes apply. Offer ends 9/19. No refund. Subscription auto renews.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Benjamin Betts. It's all about the Benjamin Betts, baby. You know what's up? Yes, and Benjamin Betts, baby. All right. We're back, baby. The Benjamin Betts podcast. New edition, NFL. Jared, my co-host. Jared, are you ready for some week 2 action?
I'm ready, man. I'm coming out of week 1 hot, which we did last year, and then it was a slow burning flame. So
yeah, this was a week I needed a little help. You had to pick me up a little bit to make us respectable overall.
I got you, and I know you got me too. But I want you to fill in the blank. I got 3 options for you. Your picks week 1 feel like A, the Pittsburgh Steelers after the 49ers game, B, the New York Giants after the Dallas game, or C, like Aaron Rodgers' Achilles.
Poor Aaron. Like, that's just, I'm not a big Rodgers fan, but no one wants to see a man go down like that. I probably feel like the Giants, just because, in my opinion, the Niners had that the whole way. I don't think Pittsburgh. You looked up and it was 17-3.
Yeah,
and like it was just like throwing it down, their throat. The Giants, it's just like they're knocking on the door to score a touchdown. They got to settle for a field goal, and then all of a sudden it's 6-0, and then it just was poured on. I felt like it was like that week because it was so close.
It was. We talked about this. That first drive, I was like convinced. I was like, this Dallas D is not doing a thing.
Yeah. So
yeah,
my 2 picks really went down in flames in similar fashion with the Giants and then also the Bears. Both those games just got out of hand so fast because of this pick 6 and just turnovers, and there was a glimmer of hope. And then then we don't want to even talk about the other one, the stupid Seahawks. I don't even know what the heck was going on.
That is a home game that you lose, you get shut out at 40-0. The Giants at home. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, the fans are booing, and it's like no one really got hurt. Daniel Jones just did not play well. It was just the momentum. Like that could not have been more of a poster child of momentum than anything else, because it was just over. That's the snowball.
Totally
just
agree.
Steamrolled them.
Well, we're about to snowball into this week because we've got 6 new picks, a mega parlay, and then as always, we're gonna get the mortgage. We didn't get the mortgage for you this week, but that's okay. That's why there's 4 weeks in a month, and you have opportunities to still make it. We're not sweating that.
The bank ain't coming for your house after 1 week. Now this strings together some weeks. Okay, sure, but yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Maybe put 2 mortgages on this one. Make it back a little bit. That's what we're all about here.
Absolutely. And one thing we did want to throw out to everybody is what we're doing is we're keeping a little better track of our statistics and analytics this year. Plus, Corey and I have a little internal competition going on here, which I think will elevate the picks, because then you just can't be flim-flam and picking whatever you want. There's some glory on the line. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our on-air and off-air records. So if you look at our on-air records for the 6 picks, Corey went 1-2 in week 1. I went 3-0, clearly have the lead. It's a long season. Let's not get crazy right away. If you look,
I'm still coming.
You're still coming.
For you. We're there.
Now, we also picked every other game in terms of either picking an over/under, a spread. We said no money lines for these other games, and if you look at that record, it is a little closer. I went 1-3 in my other picks, so I'm 4-3. Corey went 1-3, I believe, in his other picks for a total record of 2-5. So anything can happen.
Yeah.
But we bring that up to also say, like, those other games we didn't want to pick. We had no interest in picking those other games, and you can see why based on our record.
We were forced into it, people. But week one's weird. It's fresh for everybody, so it's okay. All right.
Well, I'm ready to go. I'm feeling maybe a little too hot to trot based off of my week one shutout 3-0, and I gotta go. I think my first pick is the most controversial one because I'm looking at two teams that I don't think if you would have polled the football world, would have said there's no way these teams are 1-0 coming into week 2. So I'm going to Atlanta, Green Bay,
Atlanta.
Okay. I'm sold on Jordan Love. I'm in. I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. If I'm being honest with you, because none of our fantasy leaguers will hear this before our waivers go through tonight. That's who I want from the waivers this week.
Oh yeah, okay. Get a little love, a little Jordan love.
So bad. I'm all in. Bijan Robinson, that juke that he put for his first touchdown was one of the filthiest things I've ever seen from a rookie. But I'm just a fundamental non-believer in the Falcons. Give me Green Bay at Atlanta on the turf, more Jordan Love. I'll take Green Bay -1.5.
Green Bay -1.5. Are you might be getting Christian Wood back? Christian Watson. We're not playing basketball yet. Christian Watson, questionable. I mean, if he's back, you have the deep threat there for Jordan Love, which makes it even more frightening. So that's great. I like that. Good pick. It's so funny they go from what was the line? They were underdogs against the Bears. Now they're favored. It's Atlanta. It's on the road, but just how things can change so quickly. That's good. All right. For the record, I had over in that game 40.5 points. I think
it would go over too. I think that's a good pick too.
Yeah, there's gonna be some points put up in that game just for our listeners. You want to go that route too. We're gonna feel my little my over love right here and taking it down to the dirty South. Not that dirty where Atlanta is, but H-Town, where you're from, your hometown. We're going Indianapolis, Houston. But I'm going to over here too.
Wow.
40 over 40. I think CJ Stroud touchdown. My boy Anthony Richardson, he'll put up some points easily over 40. Give this a weird shootout type feel. Over 40 points.
Wow, that's cold-blooded considering that I told you that I was going to take Indy -1. But touche, I respect the sportsmanship.
Oh,
I respect the gamesmanship.
You did say that. Wait.
No. I don't need it. I don't want it. I've got my next pick lined up. I've got my next pick lined up. I don't need it.
I was so in the zone.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm moving on. Gutsy move, Dickman. Gutsy move.
I take another one.
No, I got this.
One.
Listen.
Okay.
The Patriots last week, they lost a tough one, right? That was part of our predictions, I believe, though. Philly, I think we had some Philly love last week. I'm trying to remember that. They're home again, but they're not ready for the track meet that's about to come into New England. Like
they're not.
It's just not like it. Their defense is not what it used to be. Miami -2 all day. And I know what some of you are saying in your back of your head. This is a matchup that is historically close. I'm remembering the laterals at the end, like 2 seasons ago when Miami won that game. I can try to remember how many seasons ago. You know the game I'm talking about? Where Gronk tries to tackle.
Oh, yeah. And then they ran it back in the end zone. Yes, I do. And that put I think that loss to Patriots, the number 1 seed.
I think so.
I think
it was some
I
weird.
think so.
This game is always
Yeah.
closer than it's supposed to be, which is why I feel like
Yeah.
the line was the same way the last week for the Eagles when they covered. I don't think it matters here. Like, everyone's kind of like talking high on Mac Jones, and he had a good showing. Miami doesn't even need to put up a defense. They're going to score more points for you. So Miami -2 all day.
Yeah, I love that, man. I had that mark too. I think that is all day right there. I'm going to keep it in the South, the southern region of the United States. I'm feeling it down here. I don't know why. Kind of might be the worst team in the NFL, maybe. Probably 2 wins this year. 3 points against the Saints, who did look pretty good in their opening win. Their defense showed up. I think Derek Carr, he's got weapons. My boy Michael Thomas stayed healthy for 1 game, so kudos to him. Thanks, man. About 3 years late, but that's okay. Give me the Saints -3. I think they go down to Carolina, easily win this game going away. Give me, you could probably alternate line this one. Give it up to 7-8 points. Maybe put it in the tees if you want to. I like the Saints. I think they're not messing around this year. I think this is going to be a good team. In Carolina, I think they're just figuring life out right now. So give me the Saints -3 against the Carolina Panthers.
Okay. No, I like that. Now, what's going through my mind is whether or not you have the Seahawks wrapped up in all of your madness this week. You probably do. Probably stay away from that one for you. That's probably
I did not remember you said the call. You did say that.
So rude of you. Incredibly rude. No, I'm gonna go a little different way. I had a lot of success last week doing an under, and where I want to go now is actually to another under, and I'm kind of concerned about this because one of these teams got a win last week when I didn't think they would, and the other one just looked so bad, and that's the Chicago Bucks game. Now, this game, this is what's interesting for me. This game's in Tampa. It's still September. It's hot. It's a noon game in Tampa. This is going to be hot. Chicago looked like poo-poo against the Packers, which was so frustrating to me because everybody in the offseason was talking about how Justin Fields, this is going to be his leap. I don't think it is. The Bucks are just kind of this ragtag, almost group of pirates is the best way, ironically, to describe them. I don't see this game being points. It's hot. It's early in the season. You're not fully conditioned yet to game states. Give me the under here, Chicago at Tampa.
Oh, I like that. I think that could be a real gritty kind of game. I think if the Bucks are competitive this year, which they may be, Baker, I didn't have much faith in them week 1. But if they are competitive, they're going to be just grinding teams down. And I think the Bears are just going to want to play in that sandbox too. I was high on Chicago. I thought they were going to, 1 week, I'm not going to, jury's out. Jury's not out. Jury's out or not out.
Jury's
Where's
out.
the jury?
Jury's out. Jury's out.
The jury's out. They're not in yet.
They're not in.
So
they haven't made a decision.
Let's get 4 weeks into the year before we start cutting people off. But Jared, I like that bet. I think putting up more than 41.5 points, 42 points seems a little monumental there. So, good pick. We're going to go down. Well, I'm trying to decide. Okay, you've done 3, so this is my third one.
This is
right
your
now?
This is your third one, locking it in. This is going to determine our parlay for the week.
There are 2 teams here that, could I tell you who wins this? Absolutely not. I don't know. But I also think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. And Commanders at the Broncos, 38.5 is a low number. I won't lie. That is a very low number. But if there was one thing that did me good last year, it was bet the under for the Broncos. That was a hot bet last year. And they couldn't put up points against the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on, man. This is 17-17 or 17-14 written all over it. So give me a low-scoring game here as well. We're going to be looking for low-scoring games this week to win our parlay.
Absolutely.
But Washington at Denver, under 38.5. I'm going to roll there for my final parlay pick.
Listen, you heard it here. We're looking for fireworks in Houston, and we're looking for muckety mucks from Tampa to Denver. Muck it up, you guys. That's what we are looking for. So we're going to wrap that into a 16 parlay. We will update you next week with how Corey and I's records pan out. Maybe this is the magical week that the parlay comes through. I'm hopeful. Anything can happen. But we could not conclude this section without figuring out how to get you guys your housing paid. Like we said, this could be your RV lease. This could be your apartment. This could be that one room that you're renting out of your mama's house. We got to get mama paid. So Corey, where are we getting our mortgage money from this week?
Well, we're going to start with Monday Night Football here.
Ooh.
I feel like I had a correct prediction in week 1. I feel like the Browns are going to do well, and the Steelers. I was telling you, all good things must come to an end, Jared. And we love our boy Mike. We love him. But I will back it up. Win this game, I don't know. The week 2, I feel weird after week 1. My mojo's off. So what I'm going to say is we're going to do a points here, and I'm going to take the over, but we're going to, we're teasing this, so it's coming down a little bit. So it's starting at 39.5. We're going to tease it down to 35 points. Over 35 points. Deshaun Watson, your boy Cooper, Chubb, all the Pittsburgh Steelers are healthy. That was just a weird week 1, I think. So, and San Francisco's a real deal. 35 points on Monday night. We're going to get this done. The other game that, when you touch a hot surface, a stove, and you burn your hand, what do you tell your kids, Jared? Do you tell them to touch it again?
No, you don't tell them never to touch it again.
You don't. You stay away from it. But it's tempting, so we're going to kind of tap it with our finger. So give me Seattle at Detroit. But again, let's see more. And if you remember this game from last year, I think the score was like 600 to 295. Like, it was a lot of points scored. So I'm taking the over, Seattle at Detroit. It's at 47 points, a lot of points. Teasing it down to 42.5. Okay, very doable. This is a make or break for the Seahawks game. If they don't come out at least proficient on offense, pack it in. Just go 0-17, call it a day. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, they're currently last in the division.
It's just stupid. You lose at home to the Rams. It's so stupid. The Rams are going to get destroyed this week. This is just awful. So, like, if you have any dignity, Pete, and the gang, Gino, and you got DK, this is a squad. They have to put up points against Detroit. I know Detroit's coming in, feeling high, a road win against Kansas City, where basically you and I could have played wide receiver that week. So it's like, come on, Detroit. Was that really a big win? But so give me the over. So this is the mortgage bet over edition. So 42.5, Seattle at Detroit, 35 points, Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Let's go, baby. Seems very manageable on a lot of fronts. So
very manageable.
I like that.
Easy money.
Easy money. And remember, Corey always teases that out to where it comes out to a plus 100 bet. So you're looking to double your money here straight up by taking those two picks together. And that's how we're going to bet our 100. $10 a pop on those 6 bets, a $10 parlay to put us up to 70. And then we always put 30 in, make your mortgage, because some mortgages are a little more expensive than others, and we got to get you to where you got to go so everybody can get paid. So the bank at the end of the day can get paid, if that ain't the truth.
Got to pay the bank.
Got to pay the bank. I want to wrap.
Hey, wait, do you want to know what the parlay is?
Oh yeah, tell me how much we making off this parlay.
What our odds are? Okay, let me just recap and make sure I'm correct here. All right, so we kicking it off. On Sunday, we're passing up Thursday night football. We're just like you to say, we're gonna let that just play out. We got Green Bay over 40.5. I'll go at Tampa, under 41.5. Colts at Houston, over 40.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean take your pick there. We got Commanders at Broncos, under 38.5. We're cooking. So we have 4 picks, Jared, to start off our Sunday that are over-under picks.
Love it.
And if we make it through, then we're looking at Sunday Night Football. Miami -2 against the Patriots. And then Monday night, I forgot there's 2 Monday night games.
There are 2 Monday night games this week. It's very interesting.
Wow. Saints -3 at Carolina to bring us home. It's like this. I was like, that's not as good as it usually is, but I have it teased. Hold on 1 second. Hold the phone. How do I get my tease out of there, Jared? Tease out. It is right now. Probably I'm gonna say somewhere around plus 5,000. That's
usually where we like to sit, make a couple hundred. It all goes to charity anyway. While Corey's looking that up, I do want to update us. So put in 100 last week, down to 79.20. The big one is obviously the mortgage. But if you just would have bet our 6 parlays individually at $60, we did go up 79.20. So it all depends on how you want to mix and match with the bets that you want to do. Bet Corey's, bet Jared's, bet them together, whatever you want. This is just how we structure what we're doing for Benjamin Bets. So feel free to mix it up, get wild. Throw some of your own spice in there. But we'll see where we're going to finish up at the end of the year. That's always the exciting stuff. But as I said, a little more data-driven, a little more money up front for you in the podcast this year. Corey, before we tie it up, any just looking at the NFL, any surprises from week 1, stories that you're interested in following, maybe even any changes you want to make in your futures?
I think Herbert had an opportunity to give himself a nice signature game-winning drive and pooped the bed. He pooped it, like just awful. And so that one sucked because that's like Herbert winning the MVP felt good to me. But man, you got to come through in those games. 2 minutes left, a field goal to win it. Like, God rest his NFL soul. That's a game-winning drive right there all day.
Oh yeah.
But on the flip side, man, like we talked about, if Tua just stays healthy, good Lord Jesus, that team, Miami, that's going to be a tough out. But you just know those guys, those D linemen, man, they know what they have to do to him, and they're going to hit him hard at some point. So that's just going to be rough. I hope Tua can make it through a whole season, and through if he does, they're in the playoffs hands down. And Jared, you might have an interesting team there for a Super Bowl run, but he's got to stay healthy. But good, I mean Tyreek, like goodness, just crazy.
Just a monster.
Yeah, I think Philly. They made that game a little closer than it needed to be, but they got the job done. So I still feel good with my Philly pick. They've go to New England, Bill Belichick, get an ugly win, and that's what they did.
I'm actually looking. I was super impressed by 3 teams. I did not think the Niners game was going to go that way. Clearly, I have a lot of Steelers on my fantasy team, but their defense is just stupid. Like it just looks like shredded monsters everywhere you look.
Totally.
It's just terrifying. I would just go to the water boy strategy and just kneel. And make Brock Purdy do something, even though he looked pretty good too. Like
he looked good too.
The Cowboys impressed me. I know that was a brutal win, and I do agree with your momentum analysis, but like they looked just stupid. And the one that's blowing my mind is I cannot get my mind around the Cincinnati Bengals Cleveland game. Like I just what that game ended 24-3.
Yeah. I know we didn't talk about that, and they're playing the Ravens, so I'm a little hesitant, but I would not be surprised if the Bengals just came out swinging, and that was just because that's embarrassing. I mean, Burrow had like 80 yards passing
Yeah,
or
it
something
was
crazy.
nothing.
Yeah, not a good showing. But that is stereotypical. Like the pendulum is going to swing the other way. I mean, like, again, we didn't pick it 3.5. Was kind of a like scary line in some ways. But again, Jared, if that game was like 32-24, or just they win by double digits, I wouldn't be surprised.
Absolutely. And I think that we will pick all of the games, but as I'm looking through it, like some of the things that we stayed away from, like I don't want anything to do with the Vikings based on last year. Like this is one of the most up and down teams. I'm shocked that they lost to Tampa week 1. Now here they are against the Eagles. They're laying a touchdown. It's like, nope, I don't want any part of that. Raiders Bills, like what a crapshoot of a game that is. Even though they're giving you Raiders plus 9.5 at Buffalo, that's scary. Okay. The Titans, they play to the level of their team that they're playing. There's no point in picking a plus minus with the Titans. Like that's just one of the silliest bets in football, in my opinion.
Yeah,
100% stay away from that. And then the one I wanted to bet but didn't is my Super Bowl pick, Jacksonville Jaguars home against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I thought you were going there, man. I thought you were going there.
I just can't. Like, I don't know if Kelsey's back this week. And this is good. Like, this is actually a game that I hope the Jaguars lose. Because I think if they win this game, they're too bloated too early. Like,
oh, I see. Yeah,
I'm hoping for an L here. I don't think they played out of their mind last week, even though they're clearly a good team.
Yeah,
but
no, that one seems scary to me as well because like Chris Jones, I believe, is back now.
He's back on the 1-year deal. Yep.
Yeah. So you got some defense that they were lacking in that game. They're bounce back. I still believe in them. I know it's 40-0. It's awful. But I just think the Giants, I was like, -6 seems so steep against the Cardinals. But I just see if again, it's like if this team has any life, they're going to destroy the Cardinals. And then that's going to set them on a path for the season. If this game is close, even if the Giants win, like on a game-winning field goal, trash.
Yeah.
Like you might as well bury them. But if they come out and they win this by 14 or 21 points, which I think they're going to do, then I think they're going to stick around the season because it's like you can't have your lunch stolen from you like that in week 1 at home, and then go into Arizona and then lay another egg.
You got to have some pride. You got to have some pride, man.
You got to have pride. Because Jets, Cowboys, scary too.
Yeah, I don't want any part of the Jets either with all of that. There's some mojo there that I don't want any part of. Nope. 100% agree with that. I will not be betting the Jets at all. I even with Rodgers, that's still if Aaron Rodgers was on the Jets and the line was say like 3.5, would you take Jets 3.5 or would you take Dallas -3.5 if you had a gun to your head and you had to pick one?
I'd take Jets +3.5.
Oh,
I would take if Rodgers was there +3.5. These Cowboys is probably because we live down here in Texas and I just can't stand them. But I just don't think that game last week, throw it out the window. Like I know it's all I heard all yesterday and today. Oh my God, Super Bowl! Like it's like they won the Super Bowl already. It's like, dude, that game. Like I watched every second of it. You can feel the Giants just didn't care. Like they did not care, especially at halftime. It was over. Like I don't even know why they brought their starters out. So it was like, don't give me 40-0. Like so, I think the Jets could have hung +3.5. Give me Rodgers. But without that, I mean Zach Wilson. Like nah, man.
Yeah, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, man. 100%.
Very naughty. And then like the Rams, I see this like, I mean, if the team that shows up that played last Sunday, then the Rams are going to be 17-0 and win the Super Bowl this year because that like, dude, I mean, you had two receivers that nobody knows each have 10 catches for over 100 yards and just shredding you like they're the Rams from Kurt Warner's day. Like come on, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Is that Isaac Bruce? Is that Isaac Bruce running routes out there?
Oh my
Torrey Holt?
gosh, that Torrey Holt? Torrey Holt? Yeah, like it's just so stupid. Like that game was lucky. Unlucky to the Seahawks. Lucky. No skill. That was just luck. So Niners probably win this game by 30 as well. Or the luck happens again and the Rams pull an upset. I don't know. I didn't want to touch it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm salty.
There's some juju there, and I'm not with it either. But that we say all of this just to our listeners so you can kind of understand where we're coming from things. Number one thing, and Corey and I said this last season, like the biggest thing that matters to us in most cases is the storyline. Where is this team at collectively, mentally? And we're still looking for values in games where it feels like, you know, the hype is so historically based one way that they're just not looking at a team the same way we are. So we're not deep analytic people, but we're going to let our record speak for us this week. Again, 4-2 coming out of this week.
Yeah.
Missed our mortgage. Obviously, the parlay hasn't struck, but we have 3 years to hit that before it's a total loss. So we're not sweating it. We're not sweating that just yet.
We're hitting it, Jared. This week feels good to me. Although we didn't do a lot of over-under, but it still feels good to me.
I
don't know, man.
I would rather lose an over-under than picking a team because that way I can just be mad at everybody instead of just like one team. So I love losing over-unders because, yeah, there's the blame, just so many more fingers to point at people.
Well, and I feel like it kind of keeps you in it. You know, there's a halftime of the Giants game. I was like, that's over. Like, it's over. But if you're like, well, I have the over, so it's really not over yet, you know, it keeps you engaged. So I do like a good over for sure.
Love it. Week 2 in the books here for Benjamin Bets. Be sure to lock in your bets. We will be doing that so shortly. And we're just excited, like we said last week, that football is back. The storylines are interesting. Some of the injuries from week 1 are heartbreaking. But we're just going to keep on rolling just the way that all the other teams have to roll. And Team Benjamin Bets coming at you.
Here we go, baby.
Yeah.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.